Hi, this is Viki Winterton, and today I'm thrilled because we have two amazing authors who have just collaborated on a wonderful book about relationships. We have Dr. Carmen Harra, and she is a world-renowned intuitive psychologist, best-selling author, radio show host, and relationship expert. Alexandra Harra is a certified life and relationship coach who is following in her mother's impressive footsteps. And their new best-selling collaboration is Committed. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you very much.
It's wonderful having you here. Well, Carmen, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about how you came to your passion and purpose in life, because you've done amazing things, and in the field of the literary field as an author, really incredible books. And I know this is not your first collaboration with your daughter. So tell us a little bit about how that came about in your life, Carmen.
Well, I think we all are on a mission in this world, and there's no greater pleasure than being able to help people around you. And I noticed in my career that what people struggle is in their love life, and nothing hurts more than love. So people come to me and start complaining about going through divorce, separation, struggling, feeling emotionally overwhelmed, and not knowing how to handle their love life, like I said. So then I decided to come up with this concept about commitment, as I see commitment being the number one topic nowadays in relationships. So the concept in itself has been changing a lot in the last 20, 50, 100 years. So I decided to join forces with my daughter because it's another generation. And I said, we have to blend, ideas, concepts about commitment, and what makes people be afraid of commitment. And how do they envision commitment? How can they make commitment their goal, their number one priority when it comes to having a wonderful relationship? So I said, let's do a book together, and let's define the concept in itself and tap a little bit into the world of dating, so that we give as much information as possible to everybody out there, to the readers, to the person across the street or working in an office, or people who really need guidance and help to be able to commit to someone else.
Well, it certainly is a book for everyone and a book for all ages. So Alexandra, tell us a little bit about how you came to your vision of your path in life and this book.
Well, I always knew from a young age that what I wanted to do was write. And so the next question would have been, what do I write about? And I started to immerse myself in my mom's career from a very young age. I started to listen to her clients' stories, and I heard hundreds, if not thousands, of different stories of people all seeking to be in healthy relationships. And I realized just how difficult that was for the majority of people. And so I combined my two passions, which was counseling and relationship help, with my gift of writing. And so I thought that the best thing I could do was work alongside my mom to write this book and give everyone the tools that they need to be able to be in a committed and happy relationship.
Well, Alexandra, since you're already kind of speaking to this, can you share a little bit about what you perceive from what you've seen are some of the biggest problems that people face in relationships? What are their biggest challenges to overcome?
There are a lot of problems that I notice people are facing in their relationships. And the first one, of course, is with themselves, because they either don't know what they want, or they think that they have an idea of it, but then when thinking comes to doing, they can't pull through. So the first thing that our book teaches readers is that the first work that must be done is within. Once we perform that work, then we will bring in the right partner. We will find the right person. But there's also a different component to it. You don't always attract what you deserve, because unfortunately there are a lot of people in this world and they all have their own problems. So really the goal of this book is to help people understand what might be your partner's biggest obstacles and work with him or her to overcome them, because there are always two partners in a relationship, and they have to each put in the right amount of work for it to be able to succeed in the long term. And I think that another huge obstacle is that people don't find that emotional intimacy with their partner. They go day to day, they go through the routine, and they can either, separate or go their separate ways and not really communicate like they used to, and kind of become more emotionally distant. And once that happens, once the emotional intimacy is broken, it's really difficult to keep up a long-term and healthy relationship with another person.
All of that is so true and so incredibly important, and especially at this time. Carmen, how do you perceive the book being able to help people, especially during our current situation with the pandemic and people being together a lot more than they used to? And sometimes you really like a person for a few hours a day, but maybe not 24/7, month after month. So I see the book as being so timely this way, because it's giving people great tools and tips on how to come back together during a time that's been extremely difficult.
So this book makes you reevaluate the way you think about love. And for everybody who struggles in love, this is the book for them. The book that teaches you, how to do your inner work, the work that you do inside, and the people you meet in the outside world. So here is an interesting combination of your inner work and the outer world. And when I said the world outside, I'm referring to all kinds of archetypes that we meet when we try to connect to somebody and create a relationship with another person. So we came up with the concept of different archetypes. And it's very interesting that we define the major archetypes, their weaknesses, their strength, and the way they express themselves, and who's a match for who. I'm just giving you an example, because everybody during the pandemic was talking about Donald Trump and was calling him a narcissist. And we said, well, if somebody's a narcissist, he needs to, and the archetype is of a narcissist, then you need to match another narcissist. You're not going to be okay as a narcissist with a hopeless romantic, with an independent. You need somebody who is your match, and who's your match. So we tried psychologically, to connect the dots and make people understand who they are in terms of their own archetype, and which are the archetypes they're going to meet in the outside world, and how can we connect, and who's good for who. So it's a way of defining behavior, different aspects of personalities, weaknesses, even mental issues that people have. So I truly believe that this book has a lot of psychological elements in it, but is done in such a way that everybody can comprehend. So the book turns into a manual, a manual for love, and a manual to understand if you are ready for commitment, if you're ready to put an end to the pain, to the suffering, and you want to create balance, stability, harmony, and equilibrium in your life.
So, Carmen, as you're suggesting, there's so much in the book, and it's not just by happen chance that people meet and get involved in relationships. That happens a lot now, but the book helps you to really avoid some of the pitfalls of that type of approach. So, what would be the most important tip from your perspective, Carmen, in the book for someone who is either looking for a relationship or looking to improve a relationship they're already in?
There are a number of significant aspects of this book in terms of what the book teaches the reader. And the number one is, which something that my daughter already addressed, is the fact that it's significant to know yourself, to know whether you are ready, to know where you stand, to know how you mitigate your own emotions. So don't allow them to dominate you, and take control of your feelings when it comes to being in a relationship and overcoming the things of the past. So a lot of people want to commit after going through a divorce. So we're defining all the steps that somebody needs to take who's already been damaged previously in a relationship that was not positive. So this is one aspect, teaching people how to remove themselves, how to do the inner work. Very significant work on yourself. Very significant to be able to grow, to be able through the experience, and to know what you really want. Because a lot of people don't think they're ready for a commitment. They completely reject the idea. The concept of commitment actually means giving yourself to another person. So you have to be ready to understand whether you're ready or not to give yourself to someone else. And so that's one aspect of the book. But there are many other elements in the book that people can use as tools for their own evolution. Because a relationship, that's what it means. It means growing, evolving, bettering yourself, improving the way you act, the way you think, and adjusting to each other. And some of the things that have to do with adjustment are very hard for a lot of people. And here is where we define the psychological characteristics of different archetypes, and we try to make people identify themselves. So this is the strong part of the book, identifying your own archetype. Because the moment you know your own archetype, you know your weaknesses, you know your vulnerabilities, you know where you need to work on, what do you really need to do, so that you fix, repair, heal, and so on and so forth, the things that need to be changed about your own self and the way you express yourself.
That is so brilliant. And, it goes beyond just happenstance. When you're looking at relationship, there's really a definite plan and formula for success in relationships in this book. It's wonderful that way. So Alexandra, how do you bring together the concept of commitment if people maybe want it, but they're fighting against values that are maybe not in tune to commitment? Like I personally value very highly freedom, and that was difficult for me for many, many years from a commitment standpoint, because the compromise and things that have to go into a really wonderful relationship like the one I have now seemed like it was taking away the freedom aspect. So when people have those kind of conflicting goals and so forth, how do you advise them in the book that they might be able to approach it? Because as Carmen, you were saying, many people think they don't want to be committed. Maybe they do, but they just have some conflict around those kind of things.
Well, Viki, it's interesting that you say you value freedom, because then you might be an independent archetype. And as we explain in our book, if you're a certain archetype, you match with others, and then there are some that you don't match with. So I think the key is to redefine your beliefs. So if you're placing a strong emphasis on freedom in your life, then you might think, okay, well, where does that need come from? Where did I develop it? And is it hindering me in my commitment potential? And if it is, then you might want to rethink how you can still have your freedom while also giving yourself to another partner fully and wholeheartedly, without fear that you're going to lose part of your identity to him or her. And as we explain in the book, when you find the right person for you and you're well acquainted with your own archetype and your partners, then you understand already what might be some of the problems that can come up. So if freedom is important for you and you're with a person who is trying to take your freedom away, then we give you the tools to kind of go around that and retain your freedom and retain your identity while also being in a loving relationship. It's all about being with the right person, a person who can complement you. Like that, you don't butt heads as often. And even if you do, we provide plenty of solutions so that you can work through your obstacles in your relationship.
Yeah, and that pretty much eventually is what happened to me. But it was totally by accident. It wasn't by the wonderful wisdom in your book. So, Alexandra, what do you hope people will take away from the book?
Our primary goal in our practice is to see people happy and reach their love goals, because that's so difficult for so many people. There are people who struggle a lifetime with a relationship, and it shouldn't be that way. Your birthright is love. Your birthright is to be loved. And if you understand that, then you can start walking along the path to finding a fulfilling and unconditionally loving relationship. We just want people to find what they're looking for, whatever that may be, whether it's to start a brand new relationship, to improve your current relationship, to be in your first relationship, or to get out of a bad relationship. We give the tips that cover all of these different examples and different circumstances of life. So our main goal is to get you to advance towards your love goals, whatever they may be.
That's so beautiful. It's kind of like a one-stop to happiness type of the book. Really fabulous. So, Carmen, you've been doing amazing work. Both of you have, but Carmen, you've really been doing amazing work for quite a long time. And I was wondering, when you view what you're putting out to the world in this wonderful book that you both co-authored, and in the work that you're both doing, that you see Alexandra doing and you're doing yourself, you were to look at that almost like a legacy. What would that look like to you to make a change in the world?
I think the world needs healing right now. I think the world needs love right now more than ever before. That's what we're learning from the pandemic, that we need to reconnect. We need to value togetherness. We need to reevaluate who we are, where we stand, what is our participation in the world right now. And boy, the world needs all of us together in harmony with each other and not in conflict. So it all starts with a little bit of an effort, to let go of all the negativity, the ego, you know what I mean, the shadow, the bad experiences of the past. Let all of that go and start fresh. We're going to create a better world, and a better world starts with a better relationship. So if you in a good relationship with yourself, because it all starts with that, then you certainly will bring in somebody who is a reflection of who you are, because a partner is teaching us many things. He is, as I said, introducing us all the things we need to work on. And having that complete will of life, that samsara, that powerful energy together of two people who found each other, it's absolutely superb. It's the best thing that can happen to any human being. And we bring in this book exercises, tools, all kinds of details in helping people identify something they were probably never able to identify so far. So I think this book is packed with tools, information, building awareness, how to achieve your number one goal, which is to be happy in your life with your partner. Find that person, bring that person in, and, create an amazing life together.
That is so beautiful. And Alexandra, if you were to look at this from maybe a younger perspective, people with maybe less experiences, I know I look at it and think, when I'm with Carmen and that, we bring a lot of stuff to it when you get to a certain stage of life. But when you're at a younger stage of life, things are a little fresher. And how would you approach wanting to see this change the world for our youth?
Well, one of the biggest things that I focus on in my work is female empowerment, especially for younger women, because it's really easy for us to get lost to the world nowadays, now more than ever. So I think that the most important thing for me that I want to get across is how to become the most powerful version of you as a young woman, and what positive impact you can make on this world. And it all starts with you. It starts with what you're thinking every day, what you're saying to yourself every day, what you're writing down every day. Journaling is very important. That can help you to create a more powerful version of you, and retaining your personal power, never giving it up to another person, and learning that as you advance through life, that you are your greatest investment at the end of the day. And especially as a woman, it's so easy for us to get taken advantage of out there. that's been happening since the dawn of time, you know, and it's time that we stop that, and the younger generation can stop that. The younger women can stop that by being very secure in themselves, knowing what they want, what they don't want, what they will and won't put up with. And by having that security in yourself, you can change your own life, you can impact other people's lives, and by extension, you can transform the world. That's how powerful you are.
Yes, and both of you ladies are certainly examples, very powerful examples and icons of what women can look up to and what can be accomplished in such a beautiful way and such a giving way, because the book that you have written has absolutely just given so much to the world. People all over the world can access this wonderful book on relationships and improve their lives and improve the world as a result. So I know Committed can be found in major bookstores everywhere, but tell us where people might be able to get a hold of you if they want to connect and learn more about what you do.
So people can find us simply by Google gives you every answer. You just put Carmen Harra, Alexandra Harra, and you find us. Or you just go to bookstores or Amazon and you just put my name or the title. You know, when we did this book, we actually acknowledged this concept doesn't really exist out there. So we were inspired by the idea that committed is such a powerful word, you know, and when we look whether there is another book with this title, we couldn't find anything like it. So we were inspired to do something that, you know, as much as it exists in the tone of time, now is the moment to reevaluate the concept in itself. So people can simply put committed, and I think that will take everyone to this book. So Committed, Finding Love Through and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetype. It's just the title that will take you exactly to us. And if anyone wants to write to us, an email, carmenharra at AOL. It's a simple email, my name, carmenharra@AOL.com. I still have AOL after 20 something.
So do I. Never gonna get rid of it.
So yeah, this is very easy to write us an email. I still get emails 20 something years later after I published my first book. And so people very easy can find us by and be in touch with us by sending an email. So for everybody struggling out there in the relationship, everybody going through a divorce, everybody wanting to redefine the concept of commitment, the concept of dating, the book touches upon how to date and who to date and where to start when it comes to dating. So
online dating.
Yeah, on online dating. So we included a chapter on online dating because that's what people are doing nowadays, you know. So I think that that is, an extra bonus of the book and an extra reason for people to reach out to us. And if they need any kind of guidance, information, advice, counseling, that's what I'm doing for a lifetime. And that's what Alexandra is doing. So we love helping women that nowadays, want to get back to power. The divine feminine energy is coming back in power. We can see this and we are excited about it.
Wonderful. And we are so excited to have you with us today and to be a part of letting people know and getting the word out about your wonderful, wonderful book, Committed. So listeners, have a wonderful day out there. And Carmen and Alexandra, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
We are very grateful to you, Viki. You're a beautiful light in this world, and we appreciate you and love you a lot.
Thank you so much. And that goes right back to both of you.
Thank you, Viki.